Hello, hello. I am very briefly today Rachel Archelaus, and I have the wonderful Carrie Roldan here. We do these live streams to reconnect ourselves with who we really are, with what we want in this world, with how to get it, and very often talk about intuitive art as part of that. And I just want you to know that we have a new certification path called the Express Path. For popular demand, people wanting to do it quicker, people wanting to do it who already have businesses and they don't need business training, and at a lower tuition. So if you are interested in becoming a certified intuitive artist and helping people with all those things that we help people with on these live streams, go to intuitiveart.com. You'll see a little certification button up top. Just check it out. It's very exciting. And everyone who joins the certification gets a soul portrait reading with our head teacher, Laura Gadati. Very cool way to be, welcomed into the program. So check it out and we'll see you over there. All right.
Before you bring on Intimate Alien, and I actually can't see who's here. So hello, everybody who's here and joining us for this conversation. I just wanted to say a little bit about becoming a certified intuitive artist. I was already a coach when I decided to do it. I was already someone who was fairly intuitive and really trusted myself. By this point in my journey, I had trusted myself to trust my intuition. And I pursued the certification purely for personal reasons. Like I use it in my business all the time now. And I'm grateful that I'm certified so that I can use it in my business. But initially I pursued the certification simply because I did the free intuitive art class and it brought me so much insight. And I just wanted to go deeper for my own self. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. The certification is so worthwhile. Whether you think you're going to use intuitive art in a business, whether you think you want to become someone who gives other people readings, like it will give you the opportunity to do that. But it also just takes your knowledge base to a whole new level. It's really great.
We love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to be Intimate Alien today, and we're going to talk about creating your big work. I mean, I guess for me, you could say my big work has been intuitive art, I have a certification. I wrote a book about it. I've taught tens of thousands of people all over the world. It's a pretty cool thing. And yet there's still more to come. I'm actually creating something right now that I feel like, whoa, is bigger than that even, or not bigger, but like equivalent. And it's so exciting. And it brings up every insecurity I've ever had in my life. So I'm really excited to have Intimate Aliens guidance today and talking about this subject. Carrie's creating something big. Our friend Courtney's creating something big. And I feel like you are probably creating something big too, which is why we're talking about this today. In fact, I asked Intimate Alien last night on that cloud couch, what do you want to talk about today? Because it's your day. And this is what she said. So we welcome your questions and comments as always. Even if you're on the replay, you can comment. We'll see it. And I'm sure Carrie will guide us in a great direction today as well. So Carrie, anything you want to add before I get into an alien?
Just that I'm excited about this topic. As those of you who watch loyally know, I rarely know what we're talking about before we get here. And this is a surprise to me. And I'm filled with like excitement and relief that we're talking about this topic. So I know it is perfect. I'm excited to get into it.
Sweet. Okay. Well, I'll get her. If you want to share anything, Carrie, feel free as I get into my alien.
Yeah, you go ahead and get her. You guys, I'm going to take a quick sip, as I saw Rachel do as well. And just let you know that this topic is actually really triggering for me. This idea of my life's work, my big work, and my purpose, all of those things sort of intertwined. So if you guys feel this way, you're not alone. and I'm excited. I see that Intimate Alien is here, and I'm excited to have the conversation. So, Intimate Alien, hello and welcome.
Hello, hello again. We just saw you before. Oh, Rachel's voice is sounding creaky. Isn't that funny?
Okay, I am so glad you're here. And tell me why you chose this topic for today.
Well, it is so relevant to all of you, right? In Rachel's little circle and in the world that you inhabit right now, there is so much. We will even call it, you have dug out a new layer of self-confidence, of belief in yourself, in that you are able to connect with this idea of creating something big. You're feeling more empowered lately, which is a big part of receiving, right? You need to be in a place of being able to receive a big idea and to be able to take action on it. So that is a marker for me to begin speaking about it when you are able to receive it.
I'm yawning already.
We are wanting to move this plant close.
Okay.
We want to be friends with this plant, right?
Okay. Already I have lots of questions. So if you guys are here live, put your questions in the chat. I will eventually get to them. But I am curious about and feeling a little bit of resistance to this idea that I'm creating a big thing or a big idea. I feel like I've spent the past 10 years sort of unlearning that, of getting comfortable with my big thing doesn't have to feel like a big thing. It doesn't have to be overwhelming or scary. So I'm curious just about that, the idea of the bigness.
Well, it is you who is combining big with overwhelming and scary.
Fair.
Right? So, I mean, look outside of your houses. Do you have trees? Do you have mountains? Do you have big things around? Are you in a big structure right now? Right? It is neutral. It is neutral. Whatever you put on that is your choice. You can say the big mountain is scary, or you can say the big mountain is majestic, the big mountain is beautiful, the big mountain is peaceful, right? So you get to choose what big means to you. But we are speaking of big in terms of creating something bigger than yourself, creating something that reaches taller and wider than you do on your own. It is a focal point for people. You are creating a place for people to experience something focused and new. And so, like a certification, it is a place where people can go and learn something deep and then leave and affect others, right? They're passing on that wisdom, right? And so for you, you are looking to create a place to affect teams and all of those individuals in that team, right? And it helps to create it as a separate thing because you are also so much more than that. So you create a focal point over here that feels good to you, and then you can then go and create as many focal points as you wish. So it's really it is a way to harness a specific vibration, play with it, enhance it, and leave it out there for people.
Okay, say more about that, because I hear what you're saying and it scares me a little bit. So, for those of you who don't know what she's talking about, I've been a cross country and track coach for a very long time. I did it early in my career, and then I kind of paused and did a lot of life coaching and things from home as my kids were little. And now, as my kids are bigger, I'm back out with teams doing cross country and track coaching. So when you said creating something bigger than yourself, that made complete sense to me. I'm comfortable with that. I understand that each year, right, each group of each day really, but each new group of people who sort of commit to being a part of our team, that we create something bigger than ourselves in that. And I know that I have created something bigger than myself because I have impacted, lives over the years. And I hear back from people of, something that I said to them or something that we did when they were in high school and now they're adults and they're doing it with their kids or they're doing it with their teams, right? So I definitely see that. And there's also sort of this um, feeling of connectedness that I absolutely love when I see like someone who ran for me years ago and is now out there helping us with the next generation of kids, or even just cheering them on because they feel connected because they remember what it feels like to be that. So I feel that like, okay, I've created something bigger than myself. And right, I am looking for bigger impact, right? I am looking to be able to help more people create what I have created. Um, I'm wanting more athletes to be able to experience what my teams get to experience. And there is something a little intimidating or scary. Um, and I know Rachel's going through this as well in making it separate from me. Um, I feel like the meanness is the best part, right? And so, can you speak to that a little bit? That how I can be fully embodied and totally me and make it separate from me?
Yes, we love that distinction as well. First of all, what we are meaning, let's take a piece of art as an example, okay? An artist creates something and they have their intentions and they have their point of view and their specific expression in that artwork. But then once they put it in a gallery or someone buys it, it's in their home, it is now the property of the owner. They are getting something probably very different than your original intention from it. Their story is in it. They see what they want to see in it. So it is not that it's less you, it's that you've handed it over. You've handed it over. So the best you can do is to put your intention, your energy, your you out there into the world. But then when other people are consuming that, it's theirs then. They take what they need from it, what they want from it, and you don't have any control over that part of it. And that can be scary, right? But you just need to trust yourself in the creating so that when it does become separate from you, it still lives on in your mind and your original intention, and knowing that people are getting what they need from it. Because if you think about it, you are in this planet of co-creation, of interdependence in a way, and you are responding to others' desires in your creation. You wouldn't create anything if people weren't energetically or physically asking for it. Rachel started off by saying people were wanting this new level of certification, and that's why she created it, right? So you are answering calls in your creation, and so it's already a dance.
I'm taking notes along with the rest of you as I really like that idea of I am answering calls in my creations already. I think that's important. I guess I've always known, right? Like the idea of co-creating. But when we talk about co-creating with the universe, like I've always just sort of, or my higher self or whatever we're calling it, right? I've always sort of imagined that it's like me and my higher self. It's me and the universe. And I don't know why I never included everybody else in the universe. So that's actually very helpful. Okay. What is coming to me is this idea that I think this happens with so many of my clients. Actually, pretty much every human being I've ever spoken to feels like they feel the spark of desire in them, the spark of their big idea. And maybe they can't have words for it, or they don't like, I know Rachel spent too, like we spent a long time finding our big idea, only to recognize there's another big idea and there's another big idea. But I guess I want to talk about that feeling, connecting with a feeling inside of us that has the knowing, that knows this could be something amazing, this could be something great. What's the best way to move from that feeling, right? From just being in the feeling of this could be amazing into, I don't even want to say the doing. I just want to say like the appearing of the manifestation of what we want.
Well, you need to stay with it, right? Stay with the vibration of it. And Rachel has this right here. We just want to show you because this is one of her ways of staying with it. She does intuitive art. This drawing is what is Archelaus. And it was very helpful to her because she got some ideas when she got the idea, right? She felt it in a certain way. And so when she did the drawing, she saw those things that she felt in it, but it was more concrete. That's what you're all looking for, right? The grounding of your ideas to feel like you have something to work with, you have something to hold on to. So that is why she draws so many things. And what Rachel, we're bringing her up a lot today because this is so fresh for her, but she was in the shower yesterday and asked us and her higher self completely, we are only a sliver of it, how to see the avalanche of goodness that she feels, right? When you have your big ideas, you feel the potential that is also part of them. You feel the goodness inherent in them. You feel the abundance in them. And she was asking, how do I experience that now? And we, her higher self, said, just resonate more with the avalanche, with the goodness, than with the lack of it. Right? That's that simple. Can you resonate more with this idea than with the lack of it? So can you stand in the idea instead of outside of the idea? Right? It's really that simple. And then you are an instant channel of any next step that you need to take, right? Any action, any thought, any beingness will be instantly felt by you because you are in it.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
That feels really good. So go ahead.
We want to bring some more illumination here for you and for others. So if you are watching, please write to us and we will look into things for you if you wish. Because with you, Carrie, we feel your hesitation. We feel the not sure, the doubt a little bit. But we just want you to know that everything is set up and the people are dying to support you. Just ready, exploding with support for you. And you are the only one not in that place. It is okay, right? You can do this on your own time. There is no pressure, but we just want you to know that when you feel ready to be in the idea, to stand there, that everything else is already assembled around you.
That got me yawning. And thank you for saying that. And I have a really good example of that happened. And so I want to share this because I feel like it will be helpful to other people watching. So you guys, right? I'm all like, I just want it to come to me. Right? I'm just going to be in the vibration of it, and everything I want will come to me. And this week, I have been doing less than usual in my week. My kids are on spring break. I've got more space in my calendar. I've been a little bit less disciplined in the things that I normally do to make me feel good. Like I've just been more relaxed this week, relaxed in all the ways this week than usual. And yesterday, I got a text from someone who is like the text was sort of like, hey, would you be a motivational speaker for a city nearby and a city service event nearby? And my initial response was excitement and terror, right? Like excitement, like, yes, this is what I'm asking for. And no, I'm not sure. I don't know what this event is. I don't think it's my audience. I'd prefer to be on a panel than actually be a speaker. People say I'm motivational, but do I really like fit the mold of motivational speaker? Right. I went there. I went like, thanks for, okay. I see that everything I want is coming to me and this isn't really it. Right. Like, and they asked for my email, right? That was, what's your email? So I said, oh, here's my email. And, whatever it was. And then they said, yeah, they normally hire so-and-so. It's normally, and I looked at so-and-so and I was like, oh God, I don't think like my website, it doesn't, right? Like, oh shoot, my outer image isn't right. And this person speaks to nonprofits, like all the doubt. And this person seems way more professional than I am. Meanwhile, this person is like, I think you're perfect for it. And then I was like, okay. And as I looked at this other person's qualifications, I was like, I know somebody else who would be great at this. And so I was like, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this is for so-and-so. And I was like in the middle of sending them the like, hey, thank you for thinking of me. If it's not me, maybe so-and-so would be great. And then they sent me the next text, which was like, it's for high school kids. Look, it was like suddenly it clicked and it was like, oh, okay, it's me. Okay. It was like, but my initial response was no, and it took just a little like continuing to dip my toe in and to respond with as much neutrality as possible to get to like, oh, that's why you thought of me. Oh, it's actually perfect for me. Oh, I'm exactly the right person to do that. So yeah, I just wanted to share that story because it sure looked and felt like that's too big. That's not right. That's not like, nope. When really it was perfect.
You can trust what comes to you, right? If you care about how you feel. Yes.
I just want to say that back.
Yes.
You can trust what comes to you if you care about how you feel.
Yes.
Intimate Alien, you said something on our previous call today that I think is really important for our audience, and especially when we're thinking about our big thing, right? Because most of us, when we think about our big thing, we're thinking about the impact that we want to have on the world. And Rachel once told me, my purpose is to be me. And I was like, well, that's really disappointing. Like, I'm already me. Like, I was looking for something big. And what you also said, though, was stop worrying about what other people feel. Like, stop thinking about other people's feelings. And I find that fascinating and interesting because I think that my purpose is to help other people feel better, to help. Actually, Intimate Alien just pointed out to me that my energy is about improvement. My energy is about progress. My who I am in the world is about helping people improve and progress, and my joy is pointing out and celebrating other people's improvement and progress. But can you talk about how our big thing that most of us feel like will really serve the world and it's going to help people, and yet we're not supposed to think about how other people feel?
Yes, this is a large topic for all of you. If I could see you all in front of me, I would ask you to raise your hand if you ever stop yourself from doing something because you have a thought about what would someone else think about this. Yes, Rachel's raising her hand as well. So I can feel you all. I can understand that you are all a yes to this. There's one of you out there that's not acknowledging it, and that's okay. But here's an example that we gave on this call earlier in our coaching program. Imagine that do you ever see those huge drain pipes that they put underneath buildings? Those very, very large ones. You can imagine it's cement or plastic. Imagine yourself surrounded by that. It goes all the way up to source. You are a source being, and so you exist fully in this pipe. You are fully fed, fully connected to source, which of course source is connected to everyone else's pipe, right? And so you are still connected to everyone else through your multidimensional connection. And what's beautiful about this multidimensional connection is that aside from your little brain here, it is 99.99999% positive, pure love, right? It's just you that has these little limiting beliefs and thoughts, right? Your little pinky nail of yourself. Now that is a much different orientation and identity than what you see around you through your eyes. If you take the pipe away, all of a sudden you are aware of your connection, but you are more identified with being a human on earth, right? And so in contrast, you are much more aware of your limiting beliefs, of your doubts, of your insecurities. They take up much more space for you because you forget about that 99.9% positive. And so when you are confronted with other people who are feeling all sorts of different ways, it's so much easier for you to lose yourself and to go into those feelings, right? It's almost as if there's a cultural norm on your planet that you're not doing your part, you are not caring if you aren't feeling bad with everyone else, right? And so that takes you off of your alignment, to feel bad, to feel even less than what you would naturally feel. It's unhelpful for you. You aren't helping anyone by lowering your vibration and spreading it out throughout the world, right? You are diminishing yourself. And that is not a powerful place to be, right? It's not a helpful place to be. There's no focus there, right? So if you put that pipe back, get yourself back in there, feeling that connection, that 99.9% positive energy, you're still part of the world. Like, we'll give you little peepholes, right? We'll give you a clear pipe if you wish. you're still connected to everyone else, but you're way more helpful to them because you aren't diminishing yourself, and therefore you see them in their power as well. It is not helpful to them if you see them in their pain. It's more helpful for you to see them as they wish to be, powerful, sovereign beings who create anything they wish, right? And if you are in a bad place, what do you want? To be in a better place. If you see them in a better place, you are helping them get there. You are literally helping them get there. So you diminishing yourself by feeling the way others feel, it's just a way to lose your connection, your spark, your energy. And you feel it. You feel drained. You feel anxious, right? So find your space in the world, find your column, your alignment, embody it. Picture a big clear pipe around you if you wish. Do some geometric exercises and build yourself back up if you need to, because you aren't helping anyone or yourself by doing otherwise.
Is this so? Thank you for answering that question. And there's a connection here to our big thing, right?
Yes.
But before we make that connection, when I first got into like this whole realm of spirituality and multidimensionality and anything beyond like the thoughts in my head, I understood before I really got like what I really before I really got a hold on my own like psychic superpowers. I had some quirky things about me that still exist. That I now recognize like, oh, that's because I'm an empath, right? That's because I have the ability to feel other people's feelings. And I remember early on a lot of people saying do things to protect yourself. Do things and I mean, I've sort of moved away from this idea that I needed protection, but is that what you're talking about? Like creating when you say working on your own geometry, is that a more neutral way of saying protect yourself?
Well, there is no need for protection because there is no assertion. So you are the one going into the other people's energy. So if you stop doing that, you don't need to protect yourself. They aren't sending their energy into you, right? So there is no need for protection, just focus of where do you want to stay? Where do you want to stay? Who do you want to feel? And with the empathy, we will also say that you don't lose the advantage of understanding other people when you stay in yourself. Any information that's relevant to you will come to you through your channel. So it just means that you aren't lowering your vibration to get the information. You get to stay feeling good, feeling clear, feeling connected, and you get the information. And so we know there's a lot that goes with empathy. A lot of people are very proud of that skill, and that's great. There's another way to accomplish it that's not harmful to you.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like I did enjoy learning. Oh, I'm feeling this way, but these aren't my feelings. Or I would sometimes leave a crowd of people and then just get in my car and cry and like not understand what's going on. And when I would see they have these things online about like, signs that you're an empath. But they also, a lot of them were like excuses to feel like a victim or and like that didn't feel good. And so doing what you're saying, recognizing that I can keep my own connection and not lose the ability to know and understand. I guess that there's that subtle distinction for me is to like understand. This is going to be a battle of semantics here of trying to find the right word, but understand another person's feelings, even feel their feelings without feeling their feelings. Like if that, yeah, that has been extremely helpful. So, oh, and good. Katarina is saying that this is helpful for her as well. So, yay. So, where to from here? So, how does this? Because I asked the question about, we're connecting it to this your big mission, your big idea, your big. What did we title this?
Create your big work.
Your big work. Okay, so your big work in the world. How does this connect to that?
Well, in the most beautiful way. So, since you are always connected to everyone, right, you are able to answer a call. You are able to use your unique viewpoint and insights and instincts and desires and preferences of what you wish to be surrounded by, and use that to make something beneficial to people who are already asking for it. And luckily, you know to stay in your column, your pipe, your connection, because what is most beneficial to the world is what is most enlivening and juicy for you to create. So it's your way, your view, you are delighted as you do this. It feels incredible as you create it. It is you 100%, and the best thing for everyone else who has been asking. So it's so important that you have a sense of yourself in order to create something powerful for the world. Because if you diminish yourself and create for the pain, for the lack, for the whole, and you do it how you think you should do it, it will not be as impactful by miles.
Okay, I'm just going to ask those of you who are watching one more time if you have a question or if you have your big work. If you want to put it in the chat, put it in the chat. Because I was just triggered, as you probably felt.
Right, so we love it. What was triggering?
What is most beneficial to the world is what is the most enlivening for me to create. Intellectually, I know that. And yet, when I go to create, the stories that come up are this already exists, or what makes me different than anyone else, or I don't know if anybody wants this, or right, like all of the stories that we tell ourselves, or what if I make this my big idea, my like point of view that I think is so important and new and fresh and like relevant, and like I just feel passionate about it, and everyone's like, that's not new, we're already doing that, right? Like all of those stories are coming up for me. I don't know where I'm going with that, but where are you going to take that?
Well, we want to address this. So what if that happens? Well, then you've just spent time in your best feeling, creating something important to you, getting practice in expressing yourself and your truth. And so if at that moment that you release it, it is not well received, okay, go back to doing the thing that feels the best to you, because you are creating whatever you're feeling, right? You're creating more of whatever you're feeling. So if at first it is not well received, keep going, keep going, keep going, because you're creating this massive wave of goodness that is flowing to you. Now, don't forget, you need to allow yourself to receive. And so if you put it out there expecting the world to be quiet, what will you get? So getting back into that creative mode for you is the best thing you could do in order to ensure that you get back what you are giving, right? Distract yourself with doing you, with being alive, with being happy, with creating, with interacting with your greater energy. And there is no way to escape the goodness that is flowing to you.
It's so simple. Distract
Yes.
yourself with being you. Like, man, if you could just do that. Um,
Well, let's
and
give an example because we aren't sure if all of you can follow these exactly, but Rachel has been in the art world for a very long time and sees the people who create shows and big works of art and series of books. They do it because they love it. Sometimes they are scraping by for a long time. Sometimes they're finding their voice. And then all of a sudden, they are the next big thing, right? The creators of South Park have the one of the longest running shows of all time now, and they were just creating. That's all they were doing. They were putting their money into the creation of what they wanted, and then it hit big, and they've done all kinds of things. Rachel doesn't watch the show anymore, but that's not the point. They are still doing what they love. Think about the people who are writers. They started out not being famous writers and they got there somehow, right? Your favorite directors of films, they use their own unique point of view, the thing that makes them tickle inside. That is how they got so popular because it tickled other people too. So even if you aren't traditionally the most skilled in that thing or the most beautiful, like, or whatever, you can find your path even when that is what is seemed to be needed to succeed in that realm. So your rules of your world don't apply when you are extremely connected to your energy.
thank you. It reminded me of a story that doesn't directly connect, but I feel like someone watching needs to hear this, so I'm going to say it for you. It was a little snippet I've seen from Jim Carrey several times, and why he felt like so called to do the work in the world that he has done. Now, initially, it was just to make people laugh, right? He's become an inspiration to people for a lot of things, but initially, it was just he just wanted to make people laugh. And he said that he knew he must pursue it because he saw his dad, who had the same skill set, who just wanted to make people laugh, choose his plan B, right? Because he thought it would be safer, be more responsible. And then he got laid off and like his life didn't work out for him. And so it was like if your plan B can fail you, then why not go after plan A? And I love that, like recognizing like why would you settle for being out of alignment when that might not work out? You might as well be in alignment. If both are not might not work out, might as well be in alignment while you're passing the time, which is sort of what you were saying about like go about the business of being yourself. Just distract yourself with being you on the way to getting what you want.
Well, it's also give yourself what you want and you will get what you want.
Yes.
If you choose a life of misalignment, you are not going to get what you want.
Which goes, I mean, you guys, I know you guys here, like you're here because you understand that message and you're come here to get more of that message. But I just want to say, I am in the work of this and I need to hear that on a regular basis. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm looking at comments. And LH, I'm reading your comment. It says twice inherited money, lost it, and retirement in the stock market after a year of market education. Have several part-time jobs, scrambling to pay bills, life pattern, but writing going well. And so I have a direct question for you, LH, if you're willing to play, which is, what do you think your big work is? Right? Or what do you want your big work to be? because there's some story there, but I'm wondering like where are we going with this? What is it that you want your big work to be? So I'm going to put a pin in that for a second. Jane says, I think we have to trust ourselves and run with it and have fun, almost with blinders on to all the rest around us. I wouldn't say almost with blinders on, right? Like have fun. You're in your little column. And then Shauna says, I think that no matter what comes from the creation later, in the moment, the joy and energy and love that you put into the universe and world is immensely valuable. I know I have more to say about that, but I know you have more to say about that, Intimate Alien.
Well, you can guarantee yourself a return on investment of time spent in joy. So you will get it back.
I needed to hear that.
Go ahead. Yes.
We just needed to hear that. I need to hear that again and again and again, but I like the wording there that time spent in joy guarantees a return on investment. That is a really time spent in joy. I'm just thinking about my like sort of week of leisure this week and how it has manifested something I've been wanting for kind of a while. And I didn't have to do a thing. Time spent in joy guarantees a return on investment. And it may not show up instantaneously, but I know that to be true. I talk on this channel a lot about every time I go on vacation, I make money. So why don't I just spend my life on vacation? That's a darn good question.
But let us reframe a little bit what you said there is you didn't have to do a darn thing. It is not true. You have spent a lot of your vibrational hours, right? We don't like equating time with any of this, but you have spent time wanting that, preparing yourself for that, doing the work that you have done for the last 25 years or more. You are the perfect person for this. And so that's what you've done to get this.
Yes. Thank you for reframing that. That is 100% true. And the things that I've done to do this, though, those were joyful.
Exactly.
Right? Those were me being me. The things that I think I needed to have done, right? Like, yeah, the things that feel like work. Turns out I didn't have to do those things. So.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay,
Yes,
L8.
you need to do what is important to you and feeling good in order to get more opportunities to do what's important to you and to feel good. See how this works?
I do.
Yes.
I hope you guys do. Let me go to LH's big work. Writing fiction, scripts, giving, I think it says something. There's a little thing on my screen. I can't quite see it. With my presence, encouraging others. So Intimate Alien, you did something on our coaching call today that I'm hoping you might be willing to do for LH, which is you quickly tapped into the energy that was one of us and then the energy that was another of us. So are you able to tap into the energy that is LH?
Of course. Yes. So it is such a great energy. LH. Rachel has said this to you before. She has done readings with Rachel, and there is a beautiful symmetry and geometry to LH's energy and a mastery present that, maybe this will help you. Rachel has discovered recently that she was trying to be more fun and more joyful for a while and to sort of push away that feeling of serious because she was thinking that serious was hindering her. But she recently realized she loves serious. Serious is fun for her. She is marvelous at serious. And so for you, maybe some things will feel more serious because you are so ordered and so structured. And yet, when they meet you in your personality here, they feel joyful and full and fun. So embrace all of you, embrace all of yourself, whatever comes out. So get prepared, get into the vibration of doing your beautiful work, and then let your hand or your fingers go however you are writing and see what comes out. We know you've already written many, many things, which you have a backlog, right? So allow yourself to do it. And from this place of I have everything I need. Of course I can create my big work and it will go my way, right? Do the thing that feels so good to you, and everything else will come from that.
That was good. And I think it's reassuring. I hope, LH, that was powerful for you. I know it was powerful for me to just have my own energy reflected back. I feel like I'd be remiss. I wouldn't be me if I wasn't on a call. If I was on a call about your big work and we didn't talk about big money. And I think that maybe is what LH was referring to in the beginning, right? Like, I got this money and then, like, what the heck? There is a desire for a lot of us to have those things connected, right? That our big work in the world is also connected with our big money, our big abundance. Can you speak to that?
Well, maybe that is why I wanted to be friends with our friend the money tree today, because yes, money is a part of your world. It's important, right? You use it as an exchange for value, for living, for these sweatshirts and these makeups that I love. Yes. So money is a natural consequence of you living in alignment. Natural consequence. It is a fully abundant flowing stream of energy that is available to you at all times. And so you just need to ask yourself, am I in my alignment, feeling joy, feeling creation, feeling alive, feeling good, feeling inspired, and allowing money? Or am I standing outside of that, wondering where the money is, or where the money will come from, or how much it will be, or how much or little I currently have, or etc. So asking yourself, okay, if I would like more money, where am I? Where am I? Am I in my energy stream where the stream of money can find me? Or am I outside of that, wanting to find the stream, but not in it?
That was helpful.
Great.
And I think it was helpful for LH, or at least the previous section was, because she says, thank you, appreciate the help. I wrote it down, so I'm going to say it again, you guys. Money is a natural consequence of you living in alignment. We know this because we have stories about it, right? Like, so and so hit it big when they, right? But I don't know, it's just reassuring to remind myself of that day in and day out. It can be so well, and I mean, we have so much anecdotal evidence from our own lives, you guys, of like money is a natural consequence of me living in alignment. And we have a lot of conditioning that says actually money comes from that thing you do that's completely out of alignment that you have to do just for money. And then you can, so that you can then live in alignment when you're not doing that thing that you do for money. And so I think it's really important that we allow that in. So that's something Rachel and I talk about on our aligned up level, but are you letting that in? Can it go in? Not like bounce off of you, but hearing money is a natural consequence of you living in alignment. Can you let that in? I can. I love that you're next to a money tree. But I don't think I could have let it in, 10, 15 years ago. I think I could have let it into here, but not here. So wherever you are, I think that's a fun thing to practice. Can I let that in? Money is a natural consequence of me living in alignment. All right, we have about 5 minutes left. Where to?
Where do we want to go? I am seeing, oh, that is what it is. I was seeing a button that I thought I would be able to draw on the screen for you, but I cannot. That would have been very fun. Where do we want to go? I just want to remind you that, oh, if you thought about yourself as the creator of this world, right, as what you would call a god, how would God feel sitting right where you're sitting right now? What would God propose for the rest of the week? What would you do if you looked at your calendar as your God self and said, oh, I'm God now. Everything is mine. Everything is mine. What would I want to do this week? What would I do? How would I show up if I chose to go to work for fun? How would I show up as a God in that environment? How would I show up with my partner if I was God, right? What would I buy at the supermarket? Would I buy the fancy fun thing that I never let myself have? Would I buy 2 bags of chips instead of 1? Right? What would you do? How would you look at yourself? How would you look at your life if you knew you were a god? Because you are. You are a god. Everything that you see in front of you is your own creation. So practice feeling empowered. Practice feeling powerful. Practice feeling that there is no negative consequence to you having a great time on this planet. What does a great time look and feel like to you? So we would just say, manage your identity in a way that it will work for you, right? Does your identity work for you? Do you feel like you are just a flawed human, or do you feel like you can create anything that you wish? Those things make a big difference. And we see you as a god, so we are ahead of you. Tap into our confidence in you if you need to.
I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I really needed this conversation today. Intimate Alien, I'm going to repeat back to you what you just said because it hit me. There's no consequence, no negative consequence to having a great time on this planet. And for me, I will just share my version of this and hope that it resonates with you guys. What's fun for me isn't generally fun for a lot of other people. So like what brings me joy, and like I spent a lot of years feeling weird or guilty or wrong for enjoying the things that I enjoy and not enjoying the things that other people enjoy. And so this is like super personal in that like there is no negative consequence for having a great time doing the things that are a great time for you. The longer I'm on the planet, the more I recognize like the things that are a great time for me, like that's actually the gift that I get to bring. Is they're not necessarily a great time for other people, but I get to help make it a great time. But either way, that's just so important to recognize. Like there are no negative consequences for being joyful, for being relaxed, for having a great time. And in fact, as Intimate Alien said earlier, money is a natural consequence of those things, of you living in alignment. So what are we doing? Let's go have a great time.
Yes. Hopefully you are having a great time right now, and you are free to enjoy yourself for the rest of your days on this planet. So we wish to thank you for your questions and your comments and your presence. We love you so much, and we will see you soon. We will bring Rachel back just for a moment while Carrie says goodbye.
Well, yeah, I just want to thank you guys. This was great. You guys were slow to comment, but when you did, you brought the fire. So I just appreciate you guys so much. I'm hoping that these conversations are helpful to you guys and that, you take something away that, right? The ripple effect that changes your whole life.
Yeah, and my cheeks always hurt when I'm done with Intimate Alien. It looks like I got cheek implants or something.
I know, because she smiles the whole time.
I know. She animates my face differently than I do when I smile too. It's so bizarre, but I'm into it. So anyway, I needed this too. This was a wonderful conversation for me to be a part of and to hear and to allow. And thank you for your questions, Carrie and everybody else. And I'm sure we'll see you next week.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
if you're interested, become a certified intuitive artist. It's so helpful. So helpful.
Hmm.
All right. We love you. Bye.
Bye, guys.